What if I told you Nintendo created an erotic arcade game? It was before Mario and Miyamoto, during Nintendo's time as a toy company in the 1970s before they fully embraced electronic gaming. Recapping Nintendo so far, they started out as a playing card company in the late 19th century, eventually making its way into other businesses such as taxicabs, love hotels, instant rice, and God knows what else. With their experimental ventures faltering along with playing card sales in the mid-1960s, Nintendo made a break for the toy industry. They dug themselves out for the most part over the next decade with hit products like the Ultra Hand, but still struggled to compete with bigger footholds in the industry such as Bandai. They expanded into another venture in 1973 with their laser clay shooting system that utilized light gun technology. The system was implemented by Gunpei Yokoi, a famed Nintendo employee responsible for later creations such as the Game & Watch line of handhelds, Metroid, the Game Boy, and much more. The attraction was built in reappropriated former bowling alleys. Initially, all seemed well with testing attendance, and Nintendo continued to acquire and refit bowling alleys. But in the fall of that year, the OPEC embargo and subsequent oil crisis sent the Japanese economy into recession. Nintendo had invested in all this space, and just like that, they were bleeding money. Nintendo needed a way to deploy this attraction on a smaller and cheaper scale. In 1974, Yokoi filled this need with Wild Gunman, an electromechanical arcade game that made use of a light gun and a 16mm projection screen. The film looped through various encounters with gunslingers. During an encounter, the opponent's eyes would flash. The flash was a prompt for the player to draw their pistol and fire. If they're quick, their opponent falls and the film continues to the next encounter. Clips from the game along with samplings from other sources were used in an experimental Western art film by Craig Baldwin in 1978. The film was imaginatively titled Wild Gunman and remixes the various pieces of footage much like a YouTube poop. In some ways, this is the first YouTube poop based on a video game. Just listen for a second. It almost sounds like aliens are trying to communicate with us there. So what does all of this have to do with this mysterious erotic arcade game? Well, in an effort to promote Wild Gunman and show off its workings, Nintendo developed an additional light gun arcade machine alongside Wild Gunman. The game was called Fascination. While it used the same principle as Wild Gunman, its theme and mechanics were different, to say the least. Instead of shooting gunslingers with a revolver, the player was to shoot Swedish models who appeared in the film with a rifle. A woman would dance and show a closure on her clothes. The film would stop at this point, and the player would have to shoot this target. If they hit it, the film plays on, and the article of clothing is removed. This repeats until the model is completely nude. While there were never plans to release the game officially due to the fragility and complexity of its mechanics, prototypes were set up in the city of Shinjuku. When Nintendo would promote Wild Gunman, they'd set this game up in order to attract journalists, and since most of them were male, it worked. So that's all I got on this game. Much like my old video game retrospectives, it's lost media. No known units exist in any condition, no videos, just this lonely screenshot. You know, I'm honestly shocked that this hasn't been dug up and spread in some viral clickbaity fashion on sites like BuzzFeed or Vice. It's interesting to see how far Nintendo's come, from using sex to sell their game to being a family-friendly company. If you liked what you saw and want to see more like it, stick around and subscribe. Brag to all your friends about this great piece of Nintendo trivia and share. Or if you don't have friends, I'm here for you. If you like this video, I'll like you.